the Chi-Town experience on the flight. Let me go tune in to Keek on the mic. He gon' make sure we get our news and highlights. When you get on YouTube, you better hit the likes.
Adam Schefter opens door wide for possible Chicago Bears trade. Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Bears fans, make sure you also do me a huge favor by also hitting the like button on today's episode of Keek on the Mic. Bears fans, before I go any further with today's episode of Keek on the Mic, today's episode is brought to you by BetUS. As you guys all know, Bears fans, the Chicago Bears have a golden opportunity to get their third straight game when they head over to London to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Chicago Bears are currently 1-point favorites over the Jaguars this weekend in London. So make sure you guys head over to betus.com and use promo code YouTube150 for a 150% deposit bonus up to $2,000 to bet on the Chicago Bears to get their third straight win over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Bears fans, I do want to go a little bit more deep detail about this game this Sunday against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Obviously, I didn't do a pregame show with Isaiah Fry. We had some scheduling conflicts, but I just want to say that the Bears, yes, they have a golden opportunity to get their third straight win. The Jacksonville Jaguars just got their first win over the Indianapolis Colts last week, where the Trevor Lawrence on offense finally looked good. They are now 1-4. The Bears are currently on a 2-game winning streak after dominating the Carolina Panthers, and I feel like Caleb Williams will have another golden opportunity to have another huge game against this Jacksonville Jaguars defense. They are literally dead last in passing yards, giving up 287.8 passing yards a game. So I expect Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears offense to have yet another huge game in London. Obviously, Matt Eberflus and the Chicago Bears did it right by leaving early Monday, Tuesday morning to get over to London to get their bodies adjusted. Obviously, the Jacksonville Jaguars not going to get there until Friday, so that's going to be a huge blunder. That's going to be one of those points to really keep a close eye on, because obviously you have to get adjusted to that time difference over there in London. But yes, I think the Chicago Bears get yet another big win, and I think the Chicago Bears beat the Jacksonville Jaguars in London by a score of 24-17. So go ahead and comment down below your score prediction for the Bears versus Jaguars Sunday in London. So, okay, Bears fans, the real reason why I wanted to come on today's episode of Keek on the Mic, because there's obviously a whole lot of trade rumors going around surrounding the Chicago Bears, and Adam Schefter actually opened the door wide open for the Chicago Bears to make a possible huge trade at the deadline to help their interior of their offensive line. Obviously, the Chicago Bears are 3-2, and they have the golden opportunity to go 4-2 if they beat the Jacksonville Jaguars this Sunday going into their bye week. That means Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears could possibly be very aggressive to adding to their football team to make sure they're able to withstand this gauntlet of the schedule that's coming up after the bye week. Obviously, you're looking at a hot Washington Commanders team. Obviously, I think they can beat the Cardinals and the New England Patriots. But then you go into the stretch of the schedule where you play the San Francisco 49ers and you play everyone in your division twice, the Vikings twice, the Lions twice, the Packers twice. You have a really good Seattle Seahawks team in week 17 as well. So that is going to be a tough stretch of the schedule for the Chicago Bears. So yes, if the Bears win this Sunday and go 4-2 into the bye week, I can see Ryan Poles being aggressive at the trade deadline. And obviously we've seen it before, him being aggressive the last couple of seasons, trading away a second-round pick for Chase Claypool. Obviously that situation didn't work out. Then the following year, trading away a second-round pick to get Montez Sweat. Obviously, that has been a huge addition to the Chicago Bears football team. But obviously, the one area of weakness for the Chicago Bears is the interior of the offensive line. Tevin Jenkins can't stay healthy. Obviously, Nate Davis is not working out. He will probably be cut as soon as next season for the Chicago Bears. Bill Murray and Matt Pryor have looked good, but I still think they can use a massive upgrade on the interior of the offensive line. And it could come possibly from the Cleveland Browns. This is what Adam Schefter had to say. He said the Browns are struggling, and if that continues, I think they will look to move players. Obviously, when you're looking at a team like the Cleveland Browns, they have been struggling. They are 1-4, and they can very well be looking at a lost season over there in Cleveland, and that means they will be looking to unload players. The one player that I really want the Chicago Bears to take a look at in terms of the Cleveland Browns is guard Wyatt Teller. it isn't a secret that the Chicago Bears have some major questions on this offensive line. They haven't had a consistent starter at right guard for 2 years because obviously Nate Davis has been a botched experiment. Once again, Tevin Jenkins cannot stay healthy at left guard. So finding any sort of upgrade on this offensive line would be huge for the Chicago Bears football team. And I understand we have Bill Murray. He's been playing well. I understand that we have Matt Pryor. He has looked good. But I still think that when we get into those tougher competitions against good defensive lines like the Green Bay Packers, the Detroit Lions, the San Francisco 49ers, we are going to need upgrades on the interior of that offensive line. So I think Wyatt Teller would be the perfect option for the Chicago Bears at the trade deadline. And he has been one of the most dominant guards in the NFL over the past 3 years, making the Pro Bowl in each season. When you look at Wyatt Teller, he is a punishing run blocker with a mile-long nasty streak. And obviously, I love nasty offensive linemen that will put people's face into the dirt. And he is also really good in pass protection as well. Once again, Teller is 29 years old. And there is no reason to think that a player that is still in the prime of his career is poised for a steep decline. The only tricky part about a guy like Wyatt Teller is currently his health. A couple of weeks ago, he did go on injury reserve with a knee injury. But the good news is that he is eligible to return in week 8. That means the Bears could acquire a guy like Wyatt Teller with the hopes of him playing immediately. And once again, if he is healthy, he would be an instant upgrade over anybody on the roster. So now let's talk about what it would cost to get a guy like Wyatt Teller on the Chicago Bears. And once again, when you're looking at the situation that Cleveland is in, once again, 1-4, Deshaun Watson hasn't looked good. The defense hasn't looked good. They are just in total turmoil. So I don't think the cost will be too high just due to the fact that he's 29. He's coming off a knee injury where he's on injured reserve. He has 1 year after this season left on his contract worth $14.4 million, which I think the Chicago Bears could afford. So combined with his age at 29 and his injury status coming off injured reserve with that knee injury, the Bears could probably get a guard like Wyatt Teller for a day 3 pick. So I'm thinking about a 3rd round pick, which to me is not that high of compensation, especially considering that Wyatt Teller would be a huge upgrade on the Chicago Bears offensive line. And don't get me wrong, if you guys are okay with Bill Murray and Matt Pryor, or maybe a Karan Amagaji coming in and maybe being possible upgrades to this offensive line, I'm totally fine with that as well, letting those guys develop. But I'm just thinking with the stretch of the schedule that's coming up, with really good defensive lines in the Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers, the Minnesota Vikings, even the Seattle Seahawks have a really good defensive line as well. We are going to make we are going to need to make sure that the interior of this offensive line is able to withstand that very tough schedule. And once again, I feel like Wyatt Teller would be the perfect option. And the good news is this, Bears fans, there's also been rumors that Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears have already been looking at the Cleveland Browns as possible trade partners to maybe go look at a guy like Wyatt Teller. And the Chicago Bears are interested in continuing to add to their interior offensive line, upgrading that position, or maybe even another edge rusher as well. So to me, I would love Wyatt Teller on the Chicago Bears. Let me know down below in the comment section if you agree, if you would love Wyatt Teller on the Chicago Bears as well. But as always, Bears fans, make sure you continue to hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Keek on the Mic with every single Bears that you know. And make sure you also head over to betus.com and use promo code YouTube150 for a 150% deposit bonus up to $2,000 to bet on the Chicago Bears to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars this Sunday in London. But other than that, I'll be back for an all-new Bears podcast right here on Keek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and as always, bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Keek on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Keek on the mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't